Morning! Hello and welcome to my daily vlog of usually life on our beef and arable farm, but at the minute we're in Białystok in Poland. We're going to be looking at the Samash factory, looking at their grassland kit and how it's made. At the minute though, we're just at the Hampton by Hilton in the city. It is very, very nice, and I'm going to go and find the rest of the gang and have a bit of breakfast. Stay tuned, see what we get up to. Morning, James.
Morning.
Okay. Michael.
Morning. Morning.
He's like having a good night's sleep and he's happy.
Yeah.
Full of beans.
So while I'm waiting for these guys to get their jumpers and coats, I thought we'd just have a quick look around the local area. Now supposedly you can get fantastic hot dogs in there, all different multicoloured and flavours, so we might have to try that a little bit later.
How you doing?
We're getting in the passion wagon. So Lucas has just been telling us that we might get stuck in the farmer protest. Woohoo! Yeah! Content! Love seeing this like different street architecture. Top points, if you can tell us what that stadium's called. We have arrived. Some Samash kit already behind us. There's literally a yard full of it. Look at all this. So Ollie's been looking at this twist. He quite likes the idea of chucking your hat in.
I don't come with the kit, by the way.
How many horsepower are you?
One donkey power. That's
Yeah. So Jake was saying that there's the showroom behind there, so we're going to have a look around that a little bit later. And he says a parts store in there for local farmers, like come and...
yeah, so you can actually come in here, knock on the door, and there's like a counter, and you can buy spare parts directly from the factory. So if we haven't got it here, then you can't get it anywhere else.
Nice. It's huge, I must say, the factory is absolutely massive. Yeah, just the size of this place is absolutely huge. So the whole site covers 14 hectares. It's mind-blowing how big it is. So we're going to go inside, have a coffee, get some health and safety training, some high-vis vests and bits and bobs like that. Look around the factory, and then we're going to look out there, which just looks rammed full of new kit. So yeah, I'm most excited to look around that section. This has got the flags out. This is brilliant. So it's nice to see a history of the company starting in 1984 in a little garage, and all the stuff that they've done. Lots of mowers. Up to here, 2022, when they built the factory.
We visit Samash, a Polish company from Sabórzów in Podlasie.
The office space in here is sick. Like that. Chris is sorting us out now with the helmets and stuff. Thank you. So we have all our stuff on now. They sit really high, don't you, on your head?
Do they?
Well, I don't know they do on mine. I expect them like to come down, like a hat. I don't know. Never really worn one of these before. So we're going to walk down to one end of the factory and then sort of talk through the process of how they make the Samash kit that's here. Look at that little beast. It's still. I'm with Chris here.
Okay, so I'm the expert manager here in Samash, Poland, responsible for Northern American market. Yeah, we've got.
So that's where the American twang to your accent
Yeah, probably.
comes from. Yeah. Wow, look at these things going.
What you can see here is 4 independent sorting heads, capacity, a lifting capacity of 400 kilograms. Change the header from suction cup to magnetic cup as well. So it does everything by itself. It's like cutting beds, and they.
That was quite interesting, Chris. Sorry, you just told us, but you were saying some are suction and some are magnetic. And it changes
because
that?
yeah, because imagine you've got a full sheet of metal, right?
Yep.
And you want to pick up just a small tiny detail or small tiny part
Yep.
out of the whole sheet. and magnetic cup would catch or grab the whole sheet,
Everything around, sort of
everything
thing.
around it, and the suction cup can be directed to the small part itself. It's necessary.
I bet
to-
that cost a bit, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yeah. So in this, in the place where the sheet metal is stored, right? So the computer, I mean the necessity of using human force is limited to just to the operator, because
Yep.
one person can operate the whole thing. So. So that's the sheet metal storage combined with the sorter and the Mitsubishi laser
One
cutters.
person runs it all.
One person, because you can see that's the that's the headquarters. You've got the computers and everything can be, can be operated from here. And automation, that's the target.
That's the key, yeah.
That's the
Getting
key to
everything the
success.
same. Like,
The
mistakes.
repetition. Every part, everything is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, brilliant.
So the machine cleans the slabs by itself.
And that's what's coming out here then?
Yeah, but
cleaning.
this is what's coming out from the laser cutters.
Ah, right,
So
okay.
so we've got kind of three elements here, three modules, let's say, combined together into one thing. So first thing is the storage system, because it holds a piece of steel that you can see. And the suction cups I was talking about earlier is that the metal, the magnetic will grab everything around it, and the small suction cup can be directed.
To the little pieces.
Yes,
like,
to the little pieces, and they can pick up the little pieces.
So the machinery that we've got here allows them to cut 4 times more than they were doing previously. It's a 4-fold increase in productivity, and now they can actually cut for other companies if they needed to. Them things are ace, absolutely ace. Like the way that they just suck up stuff or magnetize stuff depending on the weight and the sort of size and the little pieces that they need to pick up. You've got the laser cutters behind that'll cut it out, then they pick it up, then it comes to the front, and then they can get it on the pallets, store it up in there if they need to store it up in there. All the sheet metal is in racks behind. It's very technological and very impressive. So even the sheet metal racking behind is automated to bring it into here. I forgot to add that bit, but I think that's pretty cool in itself. This is an automated racking system at the back there.
Each
Yeah, it
shelf
knows where
is
to put it.
different. Each shelf is different type of steel, because we use to manufacture mowers. We use different types of steel.
So, to see it in like layman's terms, it's like a printer. You bring your like paper in,
Correct.
or your card,
Yes.
or your cardboard or whatever.
You
It
know,
goes
the
into
gramature
your
of
automated
paper.
printer, and it's just like selects it, boom, boom, prints out your sheet metal. at the
Correct,
end.
and that's the printer, and then those four head sorting system. It just picks up the burnt parts and just puts it on pallets, prepares it for further processing.
Yeah.
So it's
And then you'll like store them in that racking that's at the bottom there.
no,
that we
they
saw.
are the production type. We try to have it just in time.
Oh,
so
right.
whatever is needed, if we need parts, right, according to the production plan, we try not to stock components.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
all, because it's it's not efficient.
Inefficient,
It's inefficient to keep them on the shelf.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
always better to have them burnt and then delivered to the welding department and then
then
processed further.
Oh, good. So it's just showing on here, the machine works out the cutting, so there's minimal bits left. So the saving on the steel, they don't want to be chucking good steel away.
Because we
I like the forklifts are even still. Quality forklifts. Look at that. Boost. We better look. So that's the robot that brings the sheet steel out. What a boost. So we're just looking at this mandrel bender, so I think that's more like an old school one. Whereas this one is completely electric. So that's bending the tube so it doesn't wrinkle. And you can see some of the stuff that's been bent there. Ah, that bends it. Some money's worth there, I bet. So this has allowed them to build machines that they weren't possibly able to build before. He's going to explain a little bit later. So he said they used to have to do lots of welding, whereas now they can just like bend one massive piece of metal and make a better machine with having kit like this. So Chris was just explaining there, it makes it a bit simpler. So they put these things in there.
Imagine you've got this. This tube straight, right?
Yep.
And if you would like to get this kind of radius, if you try bending it like that, it would wrinkle or bend in here in half.
Yep.
So we have this. You can see the rod lying on the ground here.
Yep.
So with this, with the header over there, we install it insert it into the pipe.
Yep.
And once the bending process starts, this rod
Yep.
goes and supports
Yeah, so
the
it's
tube from the inside,
Yep.
so it doesn't bend.
bend.
Or
And so it might
wrinkle.
only be like sort of that big, but because it's electric, it's knowing where to pull it along
Correct.
as it's bending it,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Right?
So with this machine, we are able to, within a tube enclosed profile, we are able to burn or to make oblong or oval or square holes.
So this chappy is just loading it up. So there's some of the bits that they're making now.
I mean, you can take a peek over there.
Look at that, what a beast. So Chris was just saying that you can get like, you could go and get CNC cutting and stuff done elsewhere.
Correct.
But
What is unique with our machinery is that we are big in size.
Yeah.
So you can load big sheets of metal or bigger than standard sheets of metal because the machines, the mowers are bigger than the standard component.
So yeah, this chap is knocking them out. I thought you worked here then, Ollie. Don't press the red button. You can see like the length of travel it's got. It's just moving it that little bit at a time, cutting another one. Yeah, repeatability is just fantastic on it. So Chris was getting quite animated about this press. So you've got two here.
And at this very moment, they work independently,
Yep.
right? Because they are separated. But if needed, in the future, if we will develop or design a 6-meter cutter bar, we can do it within one piece of sheet metal,
Wow.
one piece of steel.
That's like 3.2 meters. That's 3.2 meters. And it's just like use it as one. Boom.
Yeah. So
Future-proofing
this
it, I
is really
suppose, isn't it? Yeah.
this is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then we have another press brake with automated arm.
So that's the start of stuff that they're bending at the moment.
Yeah. On the zmienia sam.
Wow, look at this. This guy's like
Yeah,
moving
so
the
this
sheet
is
around.
an
We've had to stand behind the line because the lasers there don't allow this to be used whilst anyone in that vicinity, which is pretty good.
yeah, the machine would automatically stop.
There we go, it's bending some pieces now. Just showing us how this works. Job done.
You can see this red red camera over there. That's funny. See?
Yeah.
You can see actually the shape, the profile of what it does.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay. So which ones are the oh these?
Those
Yeah,
are.
these
On the other
yeah,
side, you can
yeah.
have a look at the other side. Yeah,
yeah.
depending on the size, whatever.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that arm picks any of the tools off it automatic because it's like bolted to the floor so it knows where everything is.
Yeah, that would be the quick attach system
Yeah.
for the tooling component.
So Lucas, you're going to tell us about like the lean manufacturing process that you like,
Yeah,
sort of
in a
try and run
nutshell, it's a process based on this Japanese systems of working. Like Toyota used it before, and then it can be copied by another factory called Samash production system. So everything is has its own place. Everything is in the let's say department are divided from the very beginning to the very end, where the steel enters the cutting department until the very end, until the assembly line. So it all has the steps, so we don't lose the time on every station, moving from one station to the other.
No, the broom is here and it's there for sure.
Yeah, and the very same applies to the tools of every station. So we've got the shelves with the simple tools for every worker, so that when you open the shelf, you can see that something's missing in here. So everything's got its own its right
own
space.
place.
But yeah, we were.
Oh, he's
lucky
wanting
enough-
to. We're slowing the efficiency of the factory, aren't we? Because we're in the in the
Yeah,
area.
we were lucky enough because we built it from the scratch. I mean, the new factory, we moved from the very old factory to the new one in here, but we were lucky to plan everything from the beginning. So we had we had this building to fill in with the departments and with the machinery. So it's all thought over from one side to the very end of the factory.
Yeah. So when Chris was saying about like the right place for the brooms, that's what he's meaning. Look, broom, shovel, like everywhere's got its place. This is an absolute beast. 500 ton. So they moved this piece of equipment from the old factory, and to get it out they had to lift it out of the roof. The thickness of that metal is ridiculous. Wow. So that's like transferring that into this. We're getting left behind, so we're catching up with the guys now. So here we've got the bandsaws, and these are like computer controlled as well.
We have the rubber insert,
Yeah.
right? The rubber insert in here.
There's a quiz question.
And
What's that?
it's a clamp.
So it's manual section of factory, and then we've obviously got the new modern electronic section. But computers can't do everything, can they? So there is some manual machining that gets done in that section there.
So
That's just
you can
cleaning.
see here, those holes are a little bit smaller than they should be,
Okay.
right? And then you've got the revolver head here, so all the tooling is in a barrel, and the machine picks up the tool, whatever it needs. It can pick up a measuring tool, like here, that's the measuring probe. It
Right.
can pick up the tap, or it can pick up a cutting device of some
yeah.
kind. Look at the tooling, how the tooling is going to be changed.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's quick.
So, on the contrary to the first one,
Yeah.
right?
all
All this has been planed, right? Because that's the mating surface for the gearbox. So it needs to be flat as it needs to be.
Yep.
So because if it's flat, then it guarantees no leaks, because the mating place with the gearbox is perfect.
So if that was to be done manually, you'd be like taking it in, taking it
Checking
out,
out,
checking this, checking that.
changing tooling from planing head to a tap, for example,
Yeah.
to tap those holes, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then something to level that, and
Yeah, because
but
that-
it's all done in. You put it in, it comes out.
And it comes like that. So that's the raw part
Yeah.
here, and that's the ready made. And what is really important and nice, that each hand clean.
Each and every cutter bar's hand clean,
Hand clean.
right? So you just blow it out to this end, and all this comes into the tray. It was saying a lot of companies that build mowers don't make their own cutter bars. These guys make them, and they know the quality that they can produce, and they've got control of it. So it is, it's passionate about that bit. Bending. So we've learned a bit while we've been walking around this factory, haven't we?
Is one thing, but then quality control is another aspect. Because
How clean it is. And again, look, tools are in the right places, hammers, everything's got its own place.
Once
This is where
the,
they install them. Nipping them up.
once the balancing is done, and once the shaft or the rotor is approved for further assembly, they tag it with with this label, and it means that the shaft is ready to go.
Finished, yeah.
That's
to balance these.
That's the balancing for
Even
the,
those are balanced?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even those are balanced because look, that's the correction mass.
Right.
This is a correction mass, right? To keep the disc, to keep the rotating disc balanced. It will, this will guarantee longer service life for the bearing.
Yeah, because if you've
Right,
got it
this-
unbalanced, it's going to be like shaky.
Correct,
And the bearing's going to
correct.
take it. So here he's putting the top hats onto the balancer here. I keep saying here. And then that's going to tell him on there where he needs to weld a little bit. So you see it spinning it round there. And then it's going to work out when that green line goes, where it needs to be. There we go. Did you know when you got your mower that somebody had done all this to it?
It is within.
I'm copying what Michael said there. Giving me ideas. So now when somebody's buying like a new top hat for the mower or a new like the cutter disc on the top, they'll be looking for the little like weld marks, yeah? See if it's been balanced.
Remember that? It was me that educated Joe.
Yeah. So I was thinking that stored parts. That just stores like the jigs and the bits that they need for the machines. Rackers. So we got these guys working in here, and they're checking the sizes and stuff. So these guys are trying to get the hardness machine working. So who's hardest then in us lot?
We will check the pinion shaft. We'll check the pinion shaft.
This is going to be like Mike Tyson hard.
Yeah, and then it gave you the testing method. How easy this tip goes into the metal, then
That's the resulting hardness, yeah. Place for the brush, place for the pan.
this one sits in
the
the
disc
cutter
module.
bar, and that's the lower hub, that's the top hub. The cutting disc sits here, and we've got two blades. So that's the disc module, which actually turns or rotates with 3,100, 3,200, depending on the gearbox type, RPMs per minute.
So these are just measuring out the
If it's round,
and so that the bearing fits in correctly.
Sits in there, and it doesn't turn around.
They're looking like proper bits, aren't they? So we've got his dinner in like half an hour. Supposedly when Farmer Phil did a video on this, I think they were rounding about 40 minutes, so we've been like nearly 2 hours now. Yeah, you can see all the stuff that they've got there. All starting to take shape as machines. So this is going to start welding with the arm. So each one of these welding stations, and there are a lot of them going down there, has dust extraction, has its own crane. Yeah, there's lots of extraction going on here. It's literally just full little welding stations. The factory's that big, there's a guy going around with a scooter. So on here there's a crane that fetches stuff around, and it's going into the sandblasting machine. So that's the grit that they use.
That's the grit blasting machine.
There it is, where they put them in. So that's like what it would go in like. And then it's like that. Look at that. So the bigger parts go through that one and get shot blasted. And that one is where the smaller bits, just hang them on there and put them in. There we go. They're just blasting out the sand, and it keeps on going. So we're just waiting for these mower beds to get out of the way, and then we're going to see the chemical preparation. So this is where they chemically degrease it. Come out of the degreaser there. Then they're going to rinse it in one, rinse it in another. Then we get a bit further down.
Then we've got activation.
So this one electrically coats the steel so that it makes a better connection. Then we've got phosphating. Then we keep on going along in the painting process. So then they rinse it, then the fourth stage rinse it, then they put like a base coat on it towards the end. So that is probably the biggest bath of paint you will see. And then the furnace is at the back there, so it's 60 foot long. So Chris was saying like that is where the scale of the factory comes in. Like you can get small paint shops, but not any that are that big. Ah, so the furnace door is opening. So then we've got it like coming out, you can see that. So when it comes out of the furnace, it's then cooled by that fan, comes around into here, and then gets primed again in. Ah, so here the guys are powder coating stuff that we just seen. So these have just come out of the furnace, and you can sort of feel the heat from here, just how hot they are. Then these, when they've been powder coated again, so they've gone round, you get powder coated again to get through the furnace again. Okay, so all the parts kit there, little wheels for the tedders, tyres and wheels for the tedders again. And these guys are sticking them together.
So they've got all the current design, right? For example, a rear wheelbase, it's square and it requires a lot of welding and reinforcing, tapping and all that. And having this bender, this mandrel bender, we can do the whole thing from one piece of tube like that.
Making it stronger.
Like this.
Ah, Ollie's found it.
So it saves us a lot of welding and it's way cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's putting the pieces together.
To
Yeah.
manufacture that, to make this, you need a lot of
Yeah, it's like loads of welds and things like that. Whereas
it's
if you remember
expensive.
what you saw on Ollie's phone, just one piece, done. Guy there, ready to put the lights on it. This one's getting a bit further. This guy's putting the stickers on. It's got a lot of wheels on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, so
Lots
this
of
is,
contour
optional,
following.
this is optional extra, very uneven terrain. This is a 6-wheel chassis. Yes, what uneven terrain, wet ground.
So what will that like ram at the front there do then?
Yeah, so that pushes it out. So this is hydraulic weight control.
Oh right, okay.
If you look at the other side, you can see the dial effectively. And that sort of shows you an extended floor.
Ah, cool. Nice couplers on there. And then there's one of the mergers that they're building up as well. That is a unit, isn't it? We've got a little John Deere here though, haven't we? A 5090. We're moving stuff around the factory. Got that based. I guess this is the butterfly mowers. Is that the mowers? So Chris was saying you've got the colour scheme there, which is the old Samash colours, whereas they're changing it now to this. It's a bit darker, isn't it? It looks good.
darker.
Yeah. Do you like the new Samash colours? So this is the load sensing CAN-bus block that they've got on there, so now you can control all the things on the mower from the cab of the tractor, as long as it's got CAN-bus screen in there. Well, it's really high spec this because it's got like auto lube on it.
You would have one place where the grease
Electronic
tube-
greaser is, yeah.
So
This is again the lean
reamers are
manufacturing.
here.
Yeah.
You know, the cooler.
Everything's in its place. Spanners. Yeah. So we're just asking the guys here how long it takes them to assemble that mower from the parts to a fully assembled one, which we might see outside in a minute. 7.5 hours. That's good going, that.
Yeah. We are
Like
not
Chris was
afraid.
even saying, like this is quality stuff. It's quite thick.
Yeah, it's
You can't-
high grammature and it's really resistant to.
Yeah. Whereas like you might get another mower from a different manufacturer and they use cheaper on this. Save some money and yeah.
Some money
Yeah. Getting this together.
Two active rollers. We have a gearbox here.
Yeah, that's the roller conditioner. To bruise the grass as it comes out of the mower. And then the normal light conditioners there.
You see just the headstocks and arms.
No way. Mowing the maze. 3 phones deep.
Some of the things they do.
So he was mowing it and pushing the maze through that. Unreal.
What we can see here is a perfect cutter bar.
Yep.
So that's the heavy duty cutting unit dedicated for larger operations, custom cutters. The cutter bar itself is wide and it's fully welded. All the gears, they were in oil bath. So that is a heavy duty unit
Yep.
that we've seen earlier on the machining.
Yep.
Right? So that's the heavy duty stuff.
And Samash also make a different cutter bar.
A lighter duty, lightweight duty cutter bar dedicated or designed for less demanding conditions,
Yeah,
for
smaller tractors
operations
and
smaller tractors.
Yeah.
So like you can see is
Narrower, yeah.
narrower, and then it's a bolted design. So we've got
Right.
bolts. It's not fully enclosed and hermetical. It's a bolted design.
Yep.
So the gears, the main principle that the gears inside the cutting unit, they are in one line, right? So you've got the disc module, idler gear, disc module, idler gear, and everything is in one line, while and the perfect cutter bar, so you can see it's wider,
Yep.
the cutting disc move up front,
Yep.
the idler gears are behind, so this
Set back.
yeah, and they are backed up from behind, so
Yep.
it can take more force.
Right.
That's why it is stronger design.
In the design. So this chap here is bolting it all together. It's all done on the computer, so he knows if he's missed any or anything. These are like he pushes them up, sets them on, and then tightens them off. So this is putting them together. So if you ever need to take one apart, come back to this video and you'll see.
How do you get the gears in there?
So I believe they feed the cogs in from that end and then bolt it up as it's going along then. Just having a go at dismantling this now. It's a good fit. So Chris was just showing us the levels. So that goes on there. And this is like the welded bit. So these are marginally more expensive than these. So you can replace that bit, the cheaper part. That's the bit that wears first. It's got 3 layers of protection. Just looking at the gearbox on top of the conditioner. Everything comes, no belts or out.
Direct drive.
This is where they get all the spare parts from. Send out to customers, PTO shafts and belts, tines, you name it, gearboxes. Everything's in here. All the parts backed up there. We've really been given unfettered access here. So we're just looking at these triple mowers. This is cool. I was like, this lights looks a bit different. It's got a handle on the top compared to this one. You can just move it around. So say you need to change a blade or something in the dark. It's cool, that. Really good.
Changing the blades.
We've got a huge merger here. So triple mowers are pretty cool. That will cut under the tractor, that's at the front, goes under the tractor, the grass. Then this side will cut it, then you can send it across so it's under the tractor as well. Same as this side, cut it and send it into the middle, so then your forager just goes poof and picks that bit up. Let's check this out, you've got all the grease points here, so you ain't got to get bent down anywhere, just grease away. They'll be like your for the contour following, legit, yeah?
Yeah, so basically.
So we are now going to go and get a bit of lunch here at the Samash factory, which is fantastic. It's got its own canteen. There's a funny law where if in Poland, if you use so many calories at work, then the employer has to provide you with lunch. So they have this massive canteen, and that's where we're going to go and grab something to eat now. Then we're going to look around a few farms, but I think I will save that for another video because this is long enough. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to Samash and Chris and all the guys that have showed us around. It's been fantastic. And yeah, let the little Poland adventure continue. Business.